Whenever we are getting ready for our productions here at Cottonwood, I usually find myself spending a lot of time with God before we even have the concept, before we even have the songs or any idea. I spend a lot of time in His Word. I spend a lot of time praying and really being intentional about listening to God and asking Him, God, what do you want to say to your people? I remember telling a couple people, wouldn't it be crazy if we had a pep rally at Cottonwood? And then so fast forward 2 years later, when I was asking God that question, what do you want to say to your people? He said, Jan, this is it. This is the year the church needs to be reminded of the resurrection power. Let's celebrate. Sing now, sing now, and one of the ways we wanted to share how we've experienced the resurrection power is through Charles' story. I remember meeting him in a dance workshop. We had a dance workshop, and this guy just came up to me and he told me his story.
When Jan shared his vision of how he wants my story to be told, I'm like, dude, I'm for it. In any way, shape, or form, I am so for it. When I lost my sight first, man, it was a struggle. It was hard because when I was sighted, I had my career, I was making good money, I was living on my own, everything was there, but I wasn't really happy. Yes, I was smiling, laughing and all that, but in a deeper level, I was not happy. And then when I lost my sight, I just felt God's remolding. Breaking down that clay is not easy. It's painful. You go through your struggles and everything, but in the process of trusting the potter, remolding your life, man, that was such a great journey. Back then, when we that workshop, Jan, I had really horrible vision. I had a friend that was helping me. She was literally showing me, physically, moving my arm and everything, so I know what the move was, and it made me reflect to what God's doing in my life. Pretty much we're walking blindly. That's why it says walk by faith, not by sight. It's not an easy walk, but it's a worth it walk. It's really having a clearer vision despite the blindness. I'm low-key getting emotional. I performed before for my glory so that people know me. But now I'm up there, I'm I don't want to do this for me. This is all for the Lord. I went straight worship mode, and it was just me and God. And I was Lord, this is my story. Can people actually see what's happening here?
There's a reason why we are so passionate about what we do. We have experienced the resurrection power of Jesus, and this was a very special moment to really show people that He is real. I feel that's the best way to tell people about who Jesus is by telling them about what you've experienced, and that's exactly what He was doing up there.
A couple people came up to me, and they were oh, it was such a great performance. The follow-up question was, are you really blind? I had my cane with me, my sunglasses, because it was so bright. And I was yes, I'm really blind. I'm really blind.
Yeah.
And their reaction to the fact that I was dancing up on a stage that was turning. I know Jan was all apologizing during rehearsal. It's a cool effect, but also it's a cool reference to life, because being blind, it's not an easy walk. It's not a walk in the park. You are stumbling all the time. You have no idea how many bruises I have on my shins. And that's just my life. Everything's chaotic, but in that chaos, you find grace in it, and you stay on your feet, and you stay worshiping.
Yeah.
So just that imagery of, oh, he's blind, but then yet he's dancing. I was inches away from falling off stage. Seeing something that looks impossible, but made possible. I hope for people to really capture the fact that our God is a God of impossibles.
Yeah.
Like through him, everything is possible.
Yeah.
So when you completely put your faith and trust and your confidence in him, like literally, you can do all things. It may look impossible, but through God, it is possible.
Yeah.
It's his amazing grace.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.